بيكم أعزائنا المشاهدين وحلقة جديدة من برنامج أسال مع ميرا. والنهاردة تاني أسبوع فخورين جدا جدا بالشباب المصري. النهاردة عندنا شابة half Egyptian, half Guatemalan, and she's running for office in Los Angeles. How are you, Shada?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
I am very proud and happy that we have you today.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so grateful. I'm very excited.
Okay, thank you so much. Beautiful smile, Shada. I'm sure you're going to attract lots of voters with this smile.
It helps a lot.
Actually, indeed, smile helps a lot. So I invite everyone watching us today to have always wear their smile always.
Yes, yes.
So first of all أنا عايزة أشكر رئيس الاتحاد العام للمصريين مستر رأفت صليب جدا جدا جدا، لأن هو اللي بيعرفنا على الناس الجميلة المهمة دي، وهو عايز يشجعهم بكل شكل. فتhank you so much مستر رأفت صليب والاتحاد العام للمصريين. Shada, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know you are half Egyptian and half Guatemalan, right?
Yes, I am. So my name is Zainab Sade Elhawary, and some of my family in Belmasra, they call me Shadia, and I am born and raised here in Los Angeles. I am, as you mentioned, the daughter of immigrants from Guatemala and from Egypt. And for me, it's so important that we are representing our community. I'm running for state assembly here in Los Angeles and South Los Angeles, or South Central, also in downtown Los Angeles and Skid Row and Watts as well. And so for me, I think I've really spent my career as an educator and an organizer. I taught high school history. I worked as a counselor, a college counselor in my old high school. I also helped with creating a new school, a brand new school for students in Brooklyn, New York. And I also was working with an organization here in Los Angeles called Community Coalition as an organizer. I worked as a youth organizer in high schools here in South Central. Wow. And the organization was actually founded by Mayor Karen Bass. Oh. So the mayor, she founded the organization in 1990. So over 30 years ago, and I worked there for over 10 years. And
10 years?
Really, yes.
You look like 18, honey. When you done all this?
I started when I was, no, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm 36 now. And so a lot of the work that I did was here in the community to make sure that we were really building the leadership of the community members to make changes, to help create better schools, to help bring wellness clinics, like health clinics, to the community. I also I'm a foster mother, and so I became a foster mom to a young girl.
Wow, congratulations. What's her name?
Her name is Michaela.
Michaela, oh my God.
She was in high school when I met her. I was her mentor. I've been a mentor to so many young people, and she was someone very, very close to me. And she became my foster daughter when she was 17, and now she's in college. She's been in San Francisco going to school and working, and I'm so proud of her. But a lot of the work that I've done is really with young people. It's really supporting the youth, supporting our future generation of leaders, making sure we do everything we can to really uplift the young people who are going to be helping
our
to change
leaders. Of course, because they will be our leaders in the future, like you are. You're going to be our leader soon, right?
Exactly. So I actually I went to school in LA and high school, and then I went to UCLA.
Yes, I know. You have a master from Harvard, right?
Yes.
Good job.
And then I wanted to come back to the community so that I could really work with our community to help other kids just like me, other young people who, maybe don't have opportunities, don't grow up, with a lot of money, and maybe they're in poverty or they're working class families. And I just wanted to do the work to help young people that really could succeed and just needed extra support, and then they have the potential, and we could really push them and give them more opportunities. And so that's a little bit about me, and I'm happy to share more about my career, especially with Community Coalition. But I did recently work on Mayor Karen Bassett's campaign, and I
Nice.
helped her become the first woman mayor of Los Angeles.
Yes.
And we are
We
so
say hello
proud
to
of
her.
her.
Yeah, we say hello to her, and she won one of the most influencer people for 2023 in California. So yeah, and actually I'm gonna meet her March 21st too. So I am very happy that I'm gonna meet her in person for first time. Actually, your story is very like you're so passionate for everything you're doing. So I wanna know who was behind you to do all this.
Yes, that's a good question. I've had so many mentors. I've had so many people who have invested in me. But I would say the person who I look up to the most is my mom. She was, when I was a little girl, she was in charge of a big conference for Latinas. It was called Adelante Mujer Latina in Pasadena. She also worked in the community. She did a lot of great work, and she always pushed me. I was always really good in school because my mom taught me how to read when I was very young, and my grandma, also her name is Zainab, she taught me my math, and my dad was always really helpful, and so they really helped me in school. But the teachers, they always made sure that we had everything we needed. Even one of my teachers, she would take me to church with her. One of my teachers, she would take me to the different competitions so that I could play checkers with other kids, or Scrabble, or spelling bee. I was always really supported as a young person from my teachers, from my mentors, from my coach, from drill team. But I think for me, my mom, she didn't have extra childcare, and when my dad couldn't help anymore, my mom would take us with her everywhere she would go, no matter what it was.
She
if it was a
inspired you.
fundraiser. Yeah, and
Wow.
so she really, like, I learned from her. Even though, you know, we're little, we would complain, oh, I don't want to go, I don't want to dress up, I don't want to put a dress on. But I loved going with my mom, and I think because she exposed me to that so young, I always felt like maybe I can do that one day. Maybe I will run for office one day. Maybe I will be like all these women, these leadership, these leaders, women leaders who were really just so inspirational, who went into politics or government, who went into the classroom, who were professors, women who went into marketing, into corporations. I always thought one day I want to be like that. And it's really because my mom exposed me to them.
Yes.
So yeah. And so that was a big part
So
of it.
that's the power of moms يا جماعة. Let me tell them in Arabic little bit. مامتها هي اللي زرعت فيها البذرة انها تبقى كل الحاجات دي في سن صغير. عاملة ماستر في هارفارد، اتخرجت من UCLA، ابتدت مدرسة اوريدي، بتعمل شغل كتير جدا جدا في لوس أنجلوس. كل حاجة بتبتدي starts when we are very little. فالأمهات يعني عامل كبير، والأبهات طبعا انهم يأثروا على أولادهم. So thank you so much for your mother. What's her name?
Her name is Audi Vasquez.
Albi?
Audi, like the
Aldi.
car.
Oh, okay. Vasquez. So thank you so much for her and for every mom fighting for her kids and their future.
Yes.
Okay, so نتكلم شوية عربي ولا ما فيش عربي؟ ها؟ نحطك في امتحان. شوية؟ Okay.
Very little.
ايه يعني زي ايه كده؟ Tell us few words. حبيبي؟
أنا اسمي شادية.
اسمك جميل يا شادية.
ماما مصري وماما غواتيمالا. أنا 30
وستة.
مدرسة UCLA.
برافو.
Harvard. Or is that مدرسة?
مدرسة كلية. Yes, مدرسة.
Okay.
شاطرة.
And أنا I know the alphabet. ألف I know how to write and I know how to read.
You do? Wow.
I don't speak Arabic, so it doesn't help me because I don't know what I'm reading. I only can read like the words that kitab, you know, but
kitab.
Book, but I don't know all the words. So
that's already amazing. يعني thank you for your dad. يعني I think he did a good job too. So bravo, dad.
I took one class at UCLA. No, at UC Santa Barbara. I took a class in the summer with an Egyptian professor. It was so good, but it was Arabi,
عربي
Fusha.
فصحى, yes.
And so it was very, when I talk to my family, they say, no, nobody talks like that.
No, at least so فصحى, it's okay. لا برافو عليكي, انتي شاطرة. Do you know what's mean شاطرة?
Yes, good.
Yeah, انتي شاطرة قوي. Okay, Shadia, actually everything, like I am very happy that you are with us today, very honored, and let's start our show and tell me how are you doing in your campaign? Is it good? Going good?
Oh my gosh, it's going so good. We are so proud. I'm a first-time candidate. It's my first time running for office, and we are doing really well. I have the endorsement of Mayor Karen Bass. I have the endorsement of many unions like the carpenters and the teachers and the nurses and the firefighters and many more.
Wow.
We fundraised almost $600,000. We have
You did?
fundraised, and
Bravo.
it's really big because I've never run before. So everything I'm doing, I'm learning for the first time. Everything I'm doing, I'm really able to learn and grow so much throughout this process. And I have a great team. I have a team of consultants who help to create the strategy. I have a good team like my campaign manager and my field director. They help us with knocking on doors and making phone calls. And everyone's so excited. They've seen our commercials on YouTube, our commercials on different things. They love social media. And we're just running a campaign that's really positive. It's about uplifting our community. It's about how do we make sure that people know who I am, because even though I love my name, Sade Elhawary, I also know that many people are not familiar with Egyptian names. And Sade, you know, like you said, it's a unique name.
It is a very unique name.
To do a lot of work to help people understand, okay, who is Sade? Who is Shadia? What has she done for us? What is she going to do for us? How can we do that? And someone said, your name is funny like Barack Obama. Nobody knows where Barack Obama's name was from, but he helped to prove that he could do the work. He could make a difference. And that's what I'm doing. I have to go talk to all the voters. And I just came back from knocking on all the doors, and all of it is part of the process so that we can say, you know, I've done so much good work in our community. I raised $12 million with Community Coalition so we can buy property and we can build a community center and housing and make sure we have opportunities to train the next generation of leaders. So those are the kinds of things that, you know, it takes work. My name is not something people know yet. One day I'll be like Karen Bass and people will say, of course, Sade Elhawary, but we're not there yet. And so it takes a lot of work, and the campaign is going so well because we're doing that work. And we know that it takes hard work, and I'm working every day to make it happen.
And we are here to support you as well. And yes, your name is beautiful, and you are an amazing person. So tell me, what are the specific issues you're going to address if you are elected? And what's your priorities?
Yeah, so, you know, I think there's three things that are the most important for me and for my community, because we are in a time where we have the most unprecedented housing crisis we've ever seen. And for those of you who live in Los Angeles or in, you know, surrounding areas throughout California, we've seen people living on the streets by thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people, just even in Los Angeles. And it means that we have to do the work to get people into housing. It requires many things, but first we have to make sure we protect the affordable housing that already exists so that it doesn't push more people onto the streets. We have to get the people on the streets. We have to get them into housing. That means we have to build more housing for them, provide more opportunity for them to be off the streets. And we have to provide them with, you know, opportunities to have treatment, because many people on the streets, they're struggling with mental health. They're struggling with substance abuse, because our communities, we say, no, don't go get help. That's crazy. You're crazy if you see a therapist. Don't do that. But we know that it makes a difference. And so we have to provide that treatment. We have to provide the support so people don't turn to drugs or turn to other things and aren't able to actually work and make a living so they can live in a home. And so I think that's really important to me. My second is really about healthcare. How do we make sure we have universal healthcare?
Honey, I'm sorry. Can I comment in the first element first, please? Yesterday, I was at the endowment center by Alameda Do you know that? Where is that?
Yes,
And
the
my
California.
heart was like going to stop. You know why? Because all the surrounds area has homeless people. So I asked someone there why they are here. I know there is shelters, and the answer shocked me more. The answer was because the shelters are very, very strict. They want them to sleep in certain time, don't go out in certain time. So I think you need to do two things. Make the laws in the shelter easier on those people because they are not prisoners, they are like a free people. This is number one. And second, yeah, try to open maybe more mental illness center or something. What do you think about that?
I love that idea. I think, Proposition 1 is now being created to create more housing for people that are experiencing homelessness. But also, I love what you said. We have to make sure that these are people who we're treating as human. We have to recognize their humanity. Just because they're living on the streets doesn't mean that they're not our family, our friends, our neighbors. They are also people who have needs just like we do. And that means that if we're too strict, it's too hard to live in those places. I know some people that they can't even work because the hours are, you have to be back by this time. Well, jobs are different for everyone. And maybe those places aren't very positive places to be. And so people don't want to be there all day stuck for hours with other people that are also struggling. And so just allow people a place to sleep, a place to have a roof over their heads, not so many rules. But I do think that there are rules that are necessary. And so how do you work to make sure that they are an opportunity to really talk about, well, what works and what doesn't, and how do we make it better for everyone, both the people that work there and the people that live there.
100%. So I will, we will depend on you, okay? I will count on you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so thank you, darling. So then you will take care of the healthcare, right?
Yes, so our healthcare system we really need to push to make it even better. And that includes comprehensive mental health care. A lot of times when people say, my body hurts, they don't connect some of it to how do you feel mentally, right? So many people feel stress, anxiety, depression, and sometimes that impacts our body. And we have to think about how do we put those together? How do we make sure that our healthcare system is one instead of physical and mental, that we can really support people when they need the support. Because sometimes when you're stressed out or something's going on, your body starts to shut down. Different things don't work anymore. You're so depressed that you're
100%.
starting to get sick. And so we have to do the work so it doesn't feel like, oh, if you want mental health treatment, you have to go all the way over here. You have to wait very long. You have to go through lines. You have to call and then call and then call and then more than weeks and months. No, we need it to be very, very streamlined. We need it to be easy for people to access. We need to make sure that people have the supports that are needed, because we have a lot of people, from the kids in school that are struggling since the pandemic
100%.
to the people on the street, to many of us everyday people who we struggle because there's so much going on. We're working so hard and it impacts us, and we have to get the help we need and make it easily accessible. So it needs funding, it needs resources, and we have to really make it easier for folks to be able to use it.
Yeah, perfect. And this is a great point. I never actually heard anyone talking about it. So let me translate this in Arabic, please, because that's very important. هي بتقول انها تهتم انها تخلي المنتل هيلث، يعني ممكن التعب النفسي او الاسترس اللي احنا كلنا مفيش، يعني there is no one has no stress، صح؟ فكلنا عندنا ستريس، والستريس ده بيأثر على جسمنا وبيخلي جسمنا زي ايه كأنه بيقفل كده. فانت لما تقول تعبان والدكتور يقول لك مثلا لا البلاد تيست بتاعك كويس، انت جسمك ما فيهوش حاجه، اعرف ان انت عندك ستريس او عندك مشكله او قلقان او مش بتلعب رياضه. ف it's very important. Thank you so much for mentioning this. And this is great because especially in our culture, we're very shy to go to a mental health doctor. This is like a shame sometimes in some countries. So if you make everything like one stop, that will be amazing.
Yes, my grandma, Zainab, she says, well, she is very, has many people in her life. All her sisters and brothers, many of them have passed away. She's been, I think she's been very sad, but she's also getting physical health issues. And when I tell her, Mama, you have to get, help for the help you need with, when you're sad, when you have problems. And she says, no, Anna, when I have problems, I talk to Allah. Allah, He helps me with everything. And I said, Grandma, I understand, but also you have to get extra help. Allah will help you, but you got to do work too to make sure that you can get through some of the things you're feeling, because then she has, she's in the bed all the time, and then her knees don't work as well, or different things that makes it hard for her to walk. And she says, I'm lazy. I'm like, no, Grandma, you're not lazy, but you have to really deal with your mental health so that you're not staying in the bed all day long. That really makes a difference.
Yes, thank you so much for mentioning this as well. Yes, prayer is very, very powerful and important, but God has given us the العلم والدكتورز علشان يساعدونا mentally و physically ان احنا نكون احسن. فان احنا نصلي very important, بس ان احنا كمان نسيك help, it's very, very important. Thank you so much for this, and I know there is one more you're going to fight for, one more element, right?
Okay, so the last area for me is we have to invest in our youth. We have to invest in the next generation. That requires us to think about various things. Education, K through 12 education. We have to make sure we have better schools, especially we have to pay teachers better. We have to pay the school staff better, because we don't treat our teachers like we value them. They get paid so little, and many people don't want to go to the classroom to help our kids learn. Then we want to think about colleges. The higher education system is so expensive. How do we make it more accessible? How do we have more funding to have debt-free college education, help student loan debt go away, but also to have less tuition or tuition-free schools? We also need climate change action. We have to take action around the climate, because our kids, where are they going to live if the earth doesn't exist? We have to make sure the environment has the support. Perfect. We have a place where we're not taking care of it, and it's getting worse and worse, and we see the impact. Every day we see it's getting hotter, it's getting colder, the glaciers are melting, everything is changing, and we can't allow that.
Correct. And I have a question here. How we are as individual can help with this climate change?
Yes, there's so many things we can do. I think some things
Can we talk about this after we're taking our call from the LA immigration attorney, Jihan Thomas? Hi, Miss Thomas. Hello, did you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, hi. Miss Thomas, did you hear me?
Hello.
Hi, Jihan, how are you? Do you hear me? Miss Thomas, شكلها مش سامعاني يا جماعة. ممكن المخرج يشوف الصوت بس. Okay, Miss Thomas, she's one of the famous and the greatest immigration attorney in Los Angeles, and she helped lots of and thousands of immigrants to be legal in the United States. And I think she wanna encourage you. She wanna support you. Jihan, do you hear me? Okay. Until Miss Thomas comes back, okay, let's tell me what we can do as individual to help in the climate changes, because it's a very serious and dangerous subject.
Yes, I think there's many things we can do. The first thing is we can, do our best to recycle, reduce, reuse as much as possible. Yes. There's also opportunities where, we need to do better with, and it's not easy, but with the cars that we're driving, right? We have electric vehicles.
Go electric? Do you mean go electric? Or yes. At least a hybrid for now, electric or hybrid?
Going electric is so important. And also, we oftentimes we don't use public transportation. We just want to drive our own cars. We want to drive by ourselves to get where we need to go. We need to go quickly, but we need to carpool more, share opportunities so we don't have so much pollution in that way. Also, a lot of people, they like to order from Amazon, and they like to get, things very quickly, very convenient. But those Amazon trucks are driving through our communities with so much pollution. And
this will be a big problem. We'll get back to this after we take Miss Thomas. Hello, Miss Thomas.
Don't worry, Jihan Thomas, and I want to say on behalf of the entire Egyptian community that we're very proud of you. And of course, somebody, a female from an Egyptian descent, running for an office in Los Angeles, that is great, and we all support you.
Thank
and
you.
Of course, we all look forward to seeing you on the election day on March 5th.
March 5th, yes.
Thank you. I really
So
appreciate
I'm
that.
voting for you, and I wish you the best in your campaign.
Thank you
And
so
I'm
much.
sure you're going to do the best for the Egyptians.
Thank you, Miss Thomas. You're always like supporting everyone.
Of course. It's an honor and a proud to support a young Egyptian lady.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Miss Thomas.
Thank you so much. Good luck to you, Mira, on
Shukran,
the
Hamid.
program, and hopefully with that you're going to raise awareness to her campaign, and then get a lot of people to come out and vote.
Yes,
Yes,
definitely.
everyone will vote for Shada on the March 5th. And Miss
Yeah.
Thomas, thank you so much. Shada, I want to tell you, Miss Thomas was one of those 40 people, 40 women actually, winning with along with Karen Pass on March 2023. So she's one of the most.
I'm humbled. I'm humbled.
Thank you, Miss
You
Thomas.
guys have a nice evening.
Thank you
Okay,
so
thank
much.
you. Just wanted to call and congratulate her on the campaign. You
Thank
take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Miss
Thank you.
Thomas. Thank you. Shada, everyone is voting for you now.
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so yeah, I appreciate your call, Ms. Thomas, and thank you for all the help you're doing for years for our immigrant. So do you have any idea about the immigrants suffering right now because of the, I know it's not your subject or your priorities, but I'm sure you have like an idea about what's happening.
The immigrants here in the United States?
Yes, yes, and everything is delayed and stuff like that. Do you have like the idea?
Yeah, I think, from what I understand, we have so many people that are really anti-immigrant and really don't want to allow immigrants, especially from south of the border, to come into this country. And so they're making it really hard. And,
Yes.
the way that our country works and the way that this country has been for, history
For
is
years,
that
yes.
we made it really hard because of what we do. We send, factories to other countries. We make it so that in those other places, they get paid very little. There's not a lot of opportunities to work, or if they do work, they can't take care of their families. So many people are coming here because they know there's more opportunities here because we messed it up in other places, we made it harder. And I think we have to take responsibility for that. But many people in the United States, they don't want to take the responsibility. Instead, they want to just send it and pretend it doesn't exist. And that doesn't make anything better. We
Yes.
always have to be thoughtful around, what is it going to take for us to really move the needle so that people aren't the only option they have is to come here. It takes a lot of work. It's so hard. It's a grueling process to cross this border. People don't do it easy. It takes a lot of work, and people sometimes die.
Yeah,
on that.
sometimes they lose their life. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not a good thing to happen anyway to cross the border. There is legal ways to come, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And so I think in that sense, I think we just have to be very, take responsibility and understand that if we're going to fix the problem, we have to fix the root of the problem. Not just say, we don't want them, don't come here. We have to fix why people are coming here in the first place.
Yes.
And that has to take some work, that has to take some legislation, some new laws. But it really isn't just the people who are coming here, their fault. Which a lot of times that's what we say, or that's what, like the governor of Texas, he says, well, we don't want them here. We're going to send them to other places like LA or like California. They'll deal with the problem. Well, we will help deal with it because we recognize that this is our responsibility too, even though we recognize it takes a lot of resources. And that is something I recognize we have to figure out.
Yes,
we have to
of
do
course.
better immigration reform. We have to really figure out long term how we're going to fix the system that has been broken.
Correct. Okay, I'm amazed that you have the idea and you understand too many things. So thank you so much. So
Okay.
let's go back to Amazon trucks. This will be hard to do, honey.
Yes, I'm just giving ideas. I'm not saying how
But
to do
actually,
it.
yes, we lost. Actually, why we don't go and shop by ourselves? I never order anything from Amazon myself. But actually, my brother and my sister, they do. But
My sisters also.
but
Same thing.
I go and buy my stuff like myself most of the time, not all the time. So I wish if we can take the family and enjoy the shopping like process, and instead of we order online. So we're going to save the actually
Environment.
yeah, the environment and go solar as well.
Yes, that's a good idea. You know, there's so many things you could do individually, but if we really want to make a difference, it has to be the corporations. The corporations are the ones that have the worst and the most emissions, carbon emissions, and just making it so hard for our communities. We have a lot of big oil companies, oil drilling, on oil fracking. You know, there's just so much going on with the oil refineries that has a lot of pollution that puts into the air, and we're not breathing clean air in Los Angeles and in many
Unfortunately,
places.
yes.
We
Yes.
are making the ozone layer.
Even in Orange County.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah, I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I go out and I breathe good air. So now I know the air we're breathing like daily, it's not good, because only
Yeah.
at 6 a.m. is really good. That's it.
Yep, I agree. So I think we can do things individually, but really we have to hold corporations accountable, because that's truly the area where they really have to recognize the impact that they're having. And if they don't make those changes, we're going to continue to suffer the consequences as individuals.
Yeah, hopefully not. So how do you plan to engage with people to make sure their voices are heard? Because now you are with me, we are happy, we are excited, but after you win, how are you going to engage with them?
Yeah, so I'm an organizer. That's what I do. It's in my blood. I am someone who will always engage the community, because the voices of the community have to be at the table. No one should be making laws without the community being present, because these laws impact community. We shouldn't be in Sacramento by ourselves making all these decisions without going to the ground level and saying, what do you want? What do you need? How will this impact you? And so for me, I really think about every piece of legislation that I will be creating. I want to have committees that work together that are experts, and people that are experts in their experience, you know, people who live it every day. And so I think it's going to take some work. I'm going to definitely give myself more work than maybe other people are doing, but to me, that's worth it. It's worth having the community at the table so that their voices are heard, and that everyone has an opportunity to have their voice heard. That is so, so important to me.
Okay, that's amazing. Let me ask you a very basic question. I'm sorry to ask you this, but it's very important. We know when people run for Congress, and you told me Assembly California, it's like Congress, but only for California, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Can you please explain a little bit more about your position or the position you're running for?
Yes, that's a really good question. And I'm really glad that you asked, because a lot of people say, wow, you're running for office, you're famous. I'm like, nobody knows the assembly members. I'm not famous. But, you know, it's partially because people really don't understand our government system. So I'll start by saying the main thing you do when you're a state assembly, you create laws.
Okay.
The way you create laws is that you write bills. Okay. When you write those bills, you have an idea of some law you want to create, and then you work with that bill inside of a committee. The committee then says, okay, we like this bill, we're going to send it to another committee, and they're going to make a decision about, do we want to have a full vote of all the assembly members to make this bill into a law. And then sometimes the bill, people don't like it, and then they just cancel it. Sometimes people have 10, 20 ideas, and only 4 of them go through in one cycle. And then sometimes you actually have to figure out, well, how much is this going to cost? If we create this law, how is that going to impact our budget? Do we have the budget for it? And then the big thing that a state assembly members do is they create the budget. They decide how all the taxpayer money is going to be used for the state, for the services, for the programs, for the different resources that are offered statewide. And then the statewide money goes to the county, goes to the city, all around the state of California. So if you could think about, you know, California is the 4th largest economy in the entire world.
Are you serious? Really?
If California was a country, it would be number 4. So United States, China, Japan, than California. That's how much money California has. So we, as assembly members, we make decisions about how that money is going to be used. And we work with the governor to make those decisions. And, we also have other areas of folks who are a part of that process as well. But that's really, the assembly has a lot of power. And if you think about it, we have a lot of power in a state that is very powerful because of the economy here. So that's really important.
Wow, that's amazing to know. So is there any other issues pressing and facing your district, do you think?
Yeah, I think I didn't really talk about this, but I do think that there's two big things that people are really worried about. The economy and
the economy, of course.
Right, jobs and inflation, right? People right now are really struggling with even being able to afford basic things. They're choosing between rent and putting food on the table. They don't have enough money in a way that, because we recognize everything is more expensive. Everything is more expensive. And so many of us are struggling even just to buy regular things we used to buy before and pay our rent. That's why we see so many people on the streets, because they're being evicted and things like that. The other thing is crime and violence. Our communities have gone through a lot of disinvestment. That means for many years in places like South Central Los Angeles, the government hasn't actually invested and supported and really given the level of care that they do in other areas, like in West Los Angeles, like in Beverly Hills. You see beautiful places where the government takes care of so many of those things. And here, it's like they forget about us sometimes. And that means that we have to make sure that we're doing everything we can to support the people in these communities, the young people especially, because sometimes when you don't have money, when you don't have food on the table, when you don't have opportunities, then you turn to other things like crime. You turn to other things like violence. You turn to things that really, I think, make a community so less safe. And so we have to create safety through programs, services, resources that allow people to have what they need so that they're not fighting to survive. They're not going and committing robberies or selling drugs or other things as a way to have jobs, but that we really provide those jobs for them. And we do everything we can to create a cohesive community. You talked about going to the store with your family. So many of our communities, we don't even socialize anymore. We're on social media. We buy everything online. We don't have the camaraderie and the sense of closeness that we did, where there was a village and everyone was raising the kids together. And so I think all of that really makes a difference in how we really invest in a community, so people feel safe, people feel like they're neighbors and their neighborhood really matters, and they work together to keep the community as strong as possible.
I am very proud of you, and I wish if you can help in these issues. I met with the Congresswoman for LA yesterday at the Endowment building, and
Yes.
I see the passion you have, and and your speech right now exactly like her. So next time, I wish if I can interview you while you are running for Congresswoman.
Thank you. Oh, I love that. I appreciate it. That really, really means a lot.
And
to
she's
me.
African as well. She's very proud. She's fighting so hard, and I feel the same passion coming from the screen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So tell us now how we can help you to win and also to grow in your position.
Yes, thank you for asking that question. I mentioned earlier that our campaign is doing really well, but we're not done. We still have almost 11 days left, almost 10 days left until the election. The biggest thing is that in order to win, we need voters. I have a lot of endorsements. I talked about raising money, but right now I am running in a community, in a district that has the lowest voter turnout in the entire state of California. It also, currently, everyone has a ballot at home, right? And some people submit it early, some people wait. We have only 2% of ballots that have been returned in our district,
way.
which means very few people have voted, and that might be a sign that very few people will vote. And so we have to do everything we can to get more people to vote. So we're trying to raise a little more money to make sure that we have are able to send out more pieces of
yes.
maybe a postcard or mail, so people say, oh, I have to vote before March 5th. This is a good reminder. We got to remember that we're voting for Sade. And so if you're able to donate, we would really appreciate it.
And how we do that? There is any link
so
or?
You can go to our website, sadeforassembly.com, SADEFORASSEMBLY.com. Also, we have an event coming very soon with the Attorney General of California. He is Rob Bonta, and he'll be coming here to our headquarters to have a fundraiser. So if you want to come and be a part of the fundraiser, you can contribute $100 is the lowest contribution level, and you can contribute more if you have more. And then we'll be here on Saturday, March 2nd, 2:30 p.m. At 53rd and Vermont in Los Angeles, 944 West 53rd Street. And just so you're aware, usually beyond money, because money is helpful, we also need help with contacting the voters, with knocking on doors, with making phone calls, with putting lawn signs, with doing whatever we can. And so if you're interested in volunteering, you can volunteer through sadeforassembly.com, or you can go to bit.ly/Team Sade for CA. So it's bit.ly/TEAMSADE4CA.
Okay, we all please support and stand for Sade.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Sade. We have to come to you. You have to come to the studio, and
Yes.
After you win, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, and we will have a great another interview with California Assembly Sade Elhawary.
Yes, I will be so excited. I would love to come to the studio, and I'm so grateful. This has been such a good experience, and I'm so happy to meet you. Thank you for taking time to meet with me today.
Of course, it's our honor, and I need few words for every youth watching us today, and wish and don't know how he can reach the position you are running for now. How we can start?
Yes, well, I would say start by being yourself. Sometimes I think we try to be like everyone else, and we think we want to be cool and we want to be like them and we want to act like this. But if you are being yourself, I think my secret sauce for this whole experience has been I'm very authentic, because this is what I love, this is what I'm passionate about. And if you love this and you're passionate about it, then you'll get involved, you'll volunteer, you'll find the right people, and they'll mentor you, they'll support you so that you can end up here. Mayor Karen Bass, she started an organization where I found out about it after I went to Harvard, and I was able to go work with her, work with the community, work with the young people, and eventually I worked on her campaign. And it's because I always did what I loved, what I cared about, what I was passionate about. And so many people would say, why are you studying that? Why are you doing that? Why are you taking the bus 2 hours away to go help kids? I'm like, this is what I love. So do what you love, be passionate about it, follow your heart, but always be yourself, and don't try to be like everyone else, because there's so much social media. It tries to tell you how to dress, how to look, how to act, how to have plastic surgery so you don't look like yourself. But if you are who you are, no matter what, deep down, you will make a difference in whatever area you want to make. So please, go after your dreams, because you can make it. You totally can make it.
Bravo, Habibti, bravo. God bless your heart. And I need a few words for our leader in the United Egyptian
Yes.
United, please, Mr. Rafat Salib. What do you want to say to him?
Yes, I'm so happy. When I first started this campaign, I went to talk to Mr. Hisham, and he connected me, and he introduced me to Mr. Rafat, and I feel like it's because of you all. You have made such a difference in helping me as a young Egyptian woman be able to connect, be able to learn, be able to grow, be able to learn more about Egyptians United. So thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for introducing me so that I can be on this show today. Thank you for investing in our campaign and in our vision for our community, because what we envision is a community where all of us are thriving and not just surviving.
That's amazing. يعني بقول لكل الناس please visit our Egyptian United page. Thank you for Mr. Hisham Seteta and Mr. Rafi for introducing us to a beautiful lady like Shada. Shada, do you want to say anything for Egyptian people?
Yes, I want to say I am so proud to be Egyptian. I am so happy that I get to proudly be with Elhawary at the State Assembly, and I am so grateful that I have an Egyptian family that has taught me and helped me understand a part of my culture that makes us who we are. In the United States, here in America, we have so many different cultures, and I love that I can be a part of a culture that has been so rich, that has taught me so much, and that we have, you know, our ancient Egyptian history that so many people learn about, and that makes us who we are. I'm so proud to be Egyptian, and so grateful that we are all in this together and that we can be united to make a difference.
Yes, and we are very happy that we have a very knowledgeable lady like you. And I thought you're 21. I am you're 36 already, and you're not shy to say, like, you know, to tell us about your age. That's amazing. And hopefully March 5th, who can come and vote for you on March 5th? Like, what cities can vote for you?
Yes. So it's Los Angeles, but it includes downtown Los Angeles. So anyone you know in downtown, they can vote for me. It also includes South Central Los Angeles. So if you live above the 10 freeway, starting from Normandy on the west, all the way east to Alameda, and then it goes all the way south to Manchester, and it goes a little outward to Van Ness, if anyone knows that area.
Yes, of course. Yeah, very nice.
Watts. So from Watts, it's the 110 to the 105, the 110 on the east, the 105 on the south, and Central on the east. So definitely would love to have you all there.
Yes, we'll see you March 5th, and we're very glad that you are part of us, and hopefully we will congratulate you, and you keep the positive energy and the beautiful smile, okay?
Thank you. Shukran. And we'll talk soon. Ma salam.
باي باي حبيبتي، باي.
Bye.
حبايبنا المشاهدين، أنا سعيدة جدا وفخورة جدا إن في بنات مصرية حتى لو كانت هاف إيجيبشن جدعين قوي كده وبتعمل حاجات كتير. أتمنى إن احنا نشجع أولادنا إن احنا نكون متفائلين وناجحين وانفولف في الكوميونتي بتاعتنا، ووديهم أماكن علشان يعملوا فولنتيرنج جوب. شوف قد إيه هي اشتغلت من وهي صغيرة لحد ما وصلت لإنها تكون مرشحة لمكان قوي وحساس زي اللي هي بتعمله دلوقتي. فأتمنى إن احنا ما نقللش من أطفالنا، نشجعهم جدا ونخليهم يروحوا ويتعرفوا على ناس ويعملوا حاجات. ما تعرفش ابنك لما يروح فين هيتعرف على مين وهيغير الكون ازاي. أنا بحبكم جدا، وبشكر تاني أستاذ رأفت صليب والاتحاد العام للمصريين في أمريكا، وبشكر بلدنا وبشكر سفارتنا. ربنا يحميكم ويحافظ عليكم، وأشوفكم في حلقات جاية من برنامج اسأل مع ميرا. انتظروني كل يوم جمعة وكل يوم سبت. باي باي.